Papa Sack, baby, from the slums of the east side, where egos collide and baby mamas done cried. We gon' feed together cause we gon' bleed together, then build that brick wall we gon' need together. Because you got my back and you know I got yours. From the blood in my veins to the sweat in my pores. Our enemies are the same, yeah, it's part of the game. We shared the same pain from loved ones to slain. And we done seen the worst, feeling like we cursed. I vow to have your back until I leave this earth. It's an oath we've taken without using words. From banging to slanging to even flipping birds. So whatever your profession, it ain't no question. To fight by your side definitely is a blessing. Tomorrow's not promised, but we've come a long way. So I'ma represent this thing of ours till my dying day.
Of the Inkpen. I did it right?
Yeah, you did it right.
Okay, Kingpin of the Inkpen. So we're gonna first start with your name. How did you get your name, Papa Sacks?
Okay, actually, it's Papa Sack.
Papa Sack.
Yeah, Papa came from the fact that, you know, us being fathers of civilization. You know, so it was a slang way of saying father. You know, so Papa Sack. You know, so it would be Papa Proverb or Papa Damon or whatever the case may be. But Sack is actually a nickname I grew up with in Compton. You know, my name was Sekou, but people couldn't pronounce my name, so they would say Saku, Saku, and Sack got stuck. You know, so that's where the name Papa Sack come from. I felt your experience. I internalized the pain. I basked in your joy, yet I quaked at your shame. How could just the embryo cause so much grief, so much turmoil, so much tears in the wake of disbelief? Some would call me a blessing, others an object of scorn, torn between a mother's love and the world saying I shouldn't even be born. Mama, don't cry, cause you chose a man that didn't want to do what was right. Mama, don't cry, cause you being persuaded to take away my life. Mama, don't cry, as they enter you into that cold, cold room, urging you to kill your seed with the aid of a vacuum. Demented institutions making profit from killing babies. Millions of dollars they made by numbing you to the love you would have gave me. I can feel your emotions. They've convinced you you're doing something good. Eugenics, population control under the guise of Planned Parenthood. Sterilizing your body and you don't even know it. Moses and the children of Israel all over again because Margaret Sanger was a she-devil that plotted our end. But mama, don't cry, that I can feel them sucking me out of your womb. I can feel you clutching your stomach, crying in that cold, cold room. Then them throwing me in a dumpster without me saying goodbye. The Christ was born under similar circumstances, but mama, don't cry. Mama, don't cry that I share your pain with no immunity. Mama, don't cry that this is the #1 cause of death in the black community. Okay, the first book I published was The Wages of Sin.
Okay.
And it was a street novel, and it was told in first person.
Okay.
And it deals with the life of a blood. You know, in Swahili they would say a damu, and it took you through his eyes, his perspective, because many questions are asked about, you know, gang members, why they do what they do. You know, you don't understand, you know, this perspective. I can't understand why they would even do such a thing. You know, it doesn't make sense. They don't own any land. You know, what are they killing for? What are they fighting for? So what I wanted to do with The Wages of Sin was give you a perspective that hasn't been really considered. You know, this is how, you know, a gang member would think of things. This is how he would perceive things. This is his world to him and how important it is to him. And why, the values, the principles, you know, the non-established religion or the non-established government or a rogue government, you would even say, is what a gang is. And they have rules and laws and bylaws that they follow. And this is the perspective that he grew up under and perceived life that way. And so I wanted that to be known. I wanted that to be seen. You feel me? And
I stitch fire onto the paper, giving game about the caper that down and dirty, that raw and uncut shit, that nasty, I don't wanna talk about it shit. I make you travel through my eyes, then bear witness to the world, that cold and ugly place, and put it right up in your face. My storytelling exposes the nature of things in the concrete where street niggas was meant to be kings. I represent their struggle, I pen their pain. Their soul moves me while my ink is the gas that lit the flame and maintains the fire through novels I spit. When you done reading one, you be like, he was born for this shit. In graphic detail, I take you through urban insanity, accurately describe the environment but show the humanity, so you can visualize what you might call nonsense, but then knock you off your pedestal as the story gets intense. Their spirit propels me, it's like I'm enslaved. Then words spew out from people that's in the grave, and your pompous attitude is devoured thereafter as you experience the struggle through each grueling chapter. This is for the Raymond Washingtons, Tookie Williams and such, for the Larry Hoovers and Jeff Forts that meant so much, for the Willie Lloyds, Puddin', founder of the Pyrus, Tamlo and bartender with the Damus, screaming so woo. From Crips, Bloods, Disciples, Vice Lords, and L. Rookins, my typewriter is that weapon that got L7 shook. But the story must be told, so I do my thing until the day I die. So go ahead and kiss the ring.
We at Smiley's Cafe in Carson, California. Coming to support Papa Sack on his book signing.
God loves black women while niggas love bitches. That was my...
Wait, say that again. One more time. One more time, because I don't think they heard you.
God loves black women while niggas love bitches.
Okay.
And, you know, I've got some, you know, some crazy sound effects from people based up on that title, too. Ooh, what that mean, you know? So, but it has strong significance in the title because when a man is on a God level, he loves and respects the black woman right. But when he's acting like a nigga, he's going to attract and bring about a bitch in a woman. And that's the concept of it, you know. So, you know, God loves black women while niggas love bitches. Because, you know, as men and as women, we are God experiencing life through a particular person. You know, you're experiencing through yourself, me through myself, but you know, God is expressing himself through us in this life experience. So on that level, we're God. That's the perspective I'm coming from. Okay. And in the book, Jelani is the main character, and he's a womanizer. Okay. You know, which in fact we've all been, or not even gonna say all, but many of us have, you know, then had our time of, you know, and we choose women a lot of times for the wrong reasons. Okay. We choose them, you know, for sexual purposes, but not really for compatible purposes. And so we run into a lot of brick walls. And so that's the main character's problem. He doesn't know how to choose a woman based upon what's good for him. He chooses it based on what's good for his loins. Okay. Yeah.
And the book is
God loves black women while niggas love bitches. Okay. Now I do got to mention it is a part 2 to the book. It's the story, the fictional story, and then there's a non-fiction part where I touch on subject matter that, you know, deals with, you know, in particular black men and women relationships. Okay. So, you know, it's a 10-chapter little segment that I put in the back. So some things that we as men and women can consider, you know.
Okay, so it's a teaching tool as well as...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because you are so sweet, I don't see a man wanting to leave you. If you were my wife, I'll fight to keep us together.
Well, Jelani, you'll find your true love. And when you do, I won't have the pleasure of spending time with you. But there are bitches and there are women. Don't settle for a bitch because you haven't found a woman.
How you know the difference?
Well, women work with a man that is willing to work with her. Bitches look at men as the enemy. With that kind of perception, how can they become a good teammate? Now, some men are the enemy, but men are too obvious not to let you know when they're the enemy. If a woman studies a man then she'll know if he loves her. If she's too infatuated by him, then she deceives herself. And then she becomes bitter.
So why do you come and visit me?
I'm just borrowing a good man until your soulmate claims you.
They keep asking, why, Papa? Do you promote gangs and the loss of lives? Nah. I promote ghetto love and uniting the street tribes, the concrete soldiers, but some feel they ain't worthy. But if you're willing to pull someone from the mud, then you gotta get dirty. See, love is a fickle thing, but in the hood it's sincere. But mama gotta cry cause she lost her son this year. Bullets pierced his flesh and chalk surrounds his post-mortem. No justice, so his son gotta take the loss with no one to support him. Orphans reared in the street with no way to escape this. It's like walking around naked in a land full of rapists, but it toughens his resolve. So he's raised as a vulture because colors and streets is just an aspect of the game, coach. It's deeper than that, but you can't grasp the appeal. Why is he willing to kill with so much religious zeal? Because his pain is irrelevant, his sorrow not heard. Tragedy is his rites of passage, but the newspapers wouldn't write a word. So I stand before you to show you a world that's so rotten. Society is a slut that done fucked the downtrodden. Maybe I'm too harsh, or maybe you too soft. The Christ resurrected, but we still nailed to the cross. They keep asking, why, Papa? Does blasphemy spring from your tongue? I have to brutally depict how the world has become with fervor and fire from the spirit that sent it. I'm not loyal to the ghetto, just those that stuck in it. Speaking the language of the people and telling no lies. Emanating spirits make me bear witness to their everlasting cries. So I make no apologies to pacify the fakes. You get it raw, like cocaine before it hits the states. And one day the tribes will unite and our people will be strong. I got faith in that, cause I'm one of their own, and my bare naked soul will feel the pain for all those that were slain would not have died in vain. That's why. You know, truthfully, I always kind of thought that they always correlated. They always had similar, you know, traits. You know, rap, you know, especially in its core and its essence, was really poetry on top of music. You know, and you know, it just had a hook. You know what I'm saying, and maybe a bridge or something like that, and you know, that's what made it a song. You know, and you know, I basically done participated in all elements of hip hop. You know, from breakdancing to graffiti. It was gang graffiti, but it was nevertheless graffiti. You know, rapping and even DJing. I done did, you know, a little mixing, you know, years ago. So, you know, but words was always my favorite, and that's what I, you know, I lean to the most. So when I at some point in hip hop, I said, you know what, I done gave it a run, you know what I'm saying, but I still love, you know, wordplay. I still love poetry. I still love spoken word. Let me get into this craft, but let me do it right. So I studied it for a few years. I didn't just jump right into it. I studied it for a few years because there's certain distinctions, you know, there's certain things that that rappers and poets differ at, you know, and I wanted to respect the craft enough to be able to do that. And so I listened for several years, actually, and then when I started doing it for myself, I would practice first, and then you know, I started getting open the mic. I started off at this brother named Siddiqi's spot in Carson, Nappy Tongues, and then that's where I first like tested, you know, myself in front of an audience.
Looky here. There go that smile again, that style again. I've been trying to holler for some time, trying to figure out how the wheels turn in your mind. You are that queen. Maybe you don't understand what I mean. You want me to elaborate? Okay, I'll elaborate. The way you love being you, the way you love being sincere, the way you interact with a man, the way you openly understand, the way that womanly swagger flows with your curves, what it is about your spirit that makes me feel good all over that. Graceful touch when we embrace that divine scent that my nose has been blessed to taste. I want to get at you. I want to confess my secrets and tell no lies. I want us to talk about you. So you can feel comfortable leaning on my shoulder. I hold you up. I'll be that soldier. You might be talking to somebody, that figures. Who in their right mind would pass you up, but I don't know that nigga. And I don't owe that nigga, so what's up with you and me? All I know is that we equally yoked, and I can make you feel good, mind, body, and spirit. I can make your mind travel the universe, then come back to reality. I can make your spirit soar and empower the dreams in your mentality. I can make your body moan through intimate interaction, then collapse on our love nest in total satisfaction. I want to get at you. I'll be that alpha male masculinity, that mental intensity, and that spiritual divinity. I want to get at you. Can I get at you? Can I get at you?
The glistening blade is mounted on my shoulder, sullen-eyed and hard-nosed as the wind is getting colder. Preparing for battle, standing strong and erect, the hilt of my sword firmly held to connect. My soul with my weapon for which I depend on to feed my insatiable appetite, to make my enemies bleed. That's what I need as I rush forward with speed, propelled by the overwhelming desire to succeed. Believing in my cause, my first swing is fatal, slicing down my opponent from his neck to his navel. Surrounded by foes weighing down on my brow, but somehow I lift them up with my blade as my face and body is sprayed with crimson liquid as I perfect this martial art. Belting out a warrior cry as the blade enters his heart. Mortality is real when I swiftly move the steel, ignoring my wounds as I continue my kill. Leaping in the air, delivering brutal punishment. Aching muscles are still in motion while my body craves nourishment. These are the ways of the warrior creed. Too many bodies to be counted. My steed can't be mounted. Only my spirit keeps me standing, so my will is strong, and perspiration and determination soaks my body to the bone. Death doesn't frighten me as I bravely clash with evil, because words is the weapon I use to kill falsehood in people. The warrior poet.
What's up with you, Sharon?
Nothing. What's up with you, Psycho?
All about representing where I come from. You know what it is.
Yeah, did you hear about that fool getting smoked around the corner? He was a bitch.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds, but that's the way it is, though.
Are you going to school tomorrow?
I don't know just yet. Somebody got to tell stories about what goes on in our hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but how are you supposed to tell stories about the hood? Don't go to school and learn how.
You know how to read and write, girl. You're tripping.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna be any good.
The hood is my school.
So are you thinking of school now?
One day they're going to call you the Kingpin of the Inkpen, straight out the hood scene.
I had contacted Big Black, and he had the guns ready for me. He also had that extra brick that I had asked for. He took me through the motions of changing clothes this time. He didn't bother with it last time. I figured he didn't want me to get too comfortable whenever he was in a good mood. He was cool this time around, but he made sure to let me know he was still sharp and on guard. He had some heat for me though. I was making $500 off the brick he sold me because he still gave me the price for $15,500. I promised myself I would buy something nice. He laid the weapons out on the bed and gave me a flat rate for everything. With all those weapons lying on the bed, I thought to myself, was it worth it? Big Black must have caught the look.
You still think you need all this shit?
Might need this shit real soon. Keep it close to me. Bring it out only when it's needed.
Well, don't get to showing your homeboys this shit until it's niggas find a reason to use it when it's staring them in the face.
I feel what you're saying. He gave me a nice-sized duffel bag to put everything in. He dropped me off at my car and he took off. Once everything was stashed away in the trunk, I stood outside to puff on a cigarette. I was already getting tired about what came with the game.
You ain't had no soda pop yet, okay.
I don't drink soda.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You ain't had no water yet. Go ahead. And your name is?
Kelly Richardson.
Kelly Richardson of the Richardson family.
Yeah.
Okay, and what book cover are you on? It's not out yet.
Kukumo Masir.
Cool Mama Sarah? Okay, hold the mic. All right, go ahead. Say it again.
Kukumo Masir.
Okay, and your character's name is?
Bria. I forgot it. Okay. You gonna ask me again?
Yeah. And what is your?
Am I supposed to be looking like at the dot or at you?
Just look at the camera.
Okay. My purse is somewhere over there. Okay.
We good.
Okay.
Continue talking. I gotta go on.
Oh, my character is Bria Mugabe.
Okay. And you are a warrior princess, aren't you?
Oh yes.
Okay. So how did it feel being on the cover of one of the world famous Papa Sack, Kingpin and Inkpen? But you are on something else too, but I'm gonna mention that later. Go ahead.
It was awesome. I enjoyed being out with the people and the pure essence of Africanism and in the African garb, and I really enjoyed myself.
Okay. And what about
Eerie sounds bounce off the walls when you walk the street. It's a glimpse of brutal murder as you step in a puddle of blood, he leaks. At 18, mama said get a job or get out. So baking soda and weight scales is what he's all about. You see, morality is false when you're starving and you're bummy, and Delilah gives you what you want when you know how to flash that money. So miss me with that righteous shit, I'm living for today. Surrounded by decay, stepping over bodies laying under the freeway. From Skid Row to the streets, it's the forgotten population, a slow decimation, a human slaughter for wolves. Hyenas is at the gate and vampires is at the door. No armor for war, so capitalism is rotten to the core. Which means martyrs gotta fall, while bloodsuckers stand tall. And slain soldiers only get acknowledged with graffiti on the wall. Life is not valuable, so we destined for doom, because the one that could have cured AIDS was aborted in the womb. These are the children, but we forgot to raise them to grow, so they find love on the streets and shelter on Skid Row. A destitute existence and all the above, not because of lack of money, but because of lack of love. A dark ambiance riddles the atmosphere. No real safety net, so our bodies radiate with fear. From Skid Row to the streets, poverty prevails. Two different types of hells, from the gutters to the county jails. Hidden tears are displayed through violent acts of anger. Cause hunger pains is a danger while justice is a stranger. So pardon my expression if I say fuck the world. Forced to be a fighter, not a lover, because pops didn't slide on a rubber. First to fertilize the egg, the concrete is my bed. The first of many babies born with a gun to his head. Well, that's the sentiment. So me and Hard Knocks have become intimate, embraced in a bellowed pain, so my soul is sensing it. Where money is worshipped, so you're called weak when you're sensible, because manhood is judged by paper, not principle. So look at my rags, the warrior poet with fire in his belly, aimed at my environment. My spirit won't be silent, I'm crying in the dark. But fear is not an option, where equality is a fantasy and true freedom is a concoction. So it's the permanent underclass or the rebellious criminal class, a place where civilian, military, and street soldiers will clash, and the homeless are doomed and guilt is presumed, left out in the cold where abomination is sold, and concentration camps is the alternative. Nightmares are an affirmative, so morale is in disarray. Two sides of the same coin, from the kicking spots to the sleepless gutterways. These are the untold stories, for it's the bitter taste of my agony, clutching for the prize, cause both sides is in my family.
Say who? You listening to me? Hello? Get your feet off this table. I'm trying to clean up. All you doing is writing. Writing. You ain't never doing nothing else. Shut your ass up. I'm trying to clean up. I ain't even clean up behind you. You know what? Just too much for this shit. It's too much.
Yeah, I'm weak for you. And I know you can tell. That's why you got your hands on your hips, using your mouth to give me hell. It's cool though. There's no place I'd rather be. I don't want to lose my temper, so I leave to gather me. But that angers you more, so I'm forced to stay. Baby, why we even gotta go that way? You are the pep in my step, the groove in my mood. You reflect my thoughts, cause you down with your dude, but I be fucking up. And I try to be better, so I get scolded for an hour until I promise to say never. But I don't be wanting to hear that shit. I'm a grown ass man. You can use more than your mouth as a weapon to kill, like that glare you give when I know that you for real, or that punishment I'm on when I can't have a nookie. Oh, we gotta talk before I get to taste the cookie. It's so sweet. I'm in a diabetic slumber. That's why I be tripping, cause you got my number. I'm out for the count, so you the last person I wanna fight. But my ego be in the way, even when I know you right. But I'm down for your dirty draws, and that's from the heart. But my boys is around, so I can't be looking like no mark. No simp, no wimp. I'm sprung, but don't leak it. Come on now, woman. It's our little secret. But know that I'm down whenever your draws get dirty, and with you by my side, I feel the world can't hurt me. Believe that.
Hi, my name is Mata Scott, and I'm here today with Papa Sack at his book signing. It's the first one, and I'm really, really excited. I'm going to be featured on his next book, when... something about dogs.
And women. And when women.
Let me introduce you to the Laney family. This is a family of Crips on the east side of Compton. Meet Joseph Laney, the oldest of the boys. They call him J-Rider. Then you got Gangster J, Jordan Laney. Then you got Janelle Laney. She's the only girl of the family, and she's raw and uncut. Then you got Jason Laney, but in the hood they call him Baby Gangster. Then it's the Laney twins, Ace, and Laney twin Deuce. One is a lover and the other one is a fighter. And the matriarch of the family is Mama Joe.
Ain't nothing like a fresh bandana. Man, I feel so gangster.
To get the wrong idea about me, I don't have nothing to hide. I want the world to see I'm a gangster. Gangster niggas do your thing. See what, yeah. Gangsta bitches, wave your hands.
See me, I'm by my money, my paper, I'm by my dollars. Popping collars with the smack and he slacking his 2 revolvers. See, we smoking, going horn, cause the bitch ain't never shit to me. And pussy stay selling, so I never let it get to me. The shit to me is simple, it relies on credentials. We credible individuals ahead of you, we original. Better known as criminals, thugging off on the stereo. Killing them on the radio, some of them wanna hate me though. Fuck them, cause they can't see me though, and here we go again. The jealousy took you over success.
When a child sleeps is when a creep creeps. I said when a child sleeps is when a creep creeps. A dark shadow in the room is where a monster will loom. She's shaking in her boots. Her innocence is at risk. A perverted demon with bad intentions starts off with a kiss on the lips. But she feels that something ain't right. He's touching her in places that she knows ain't right, tainting her beauty because he's worse than a savage. His uncontrollable lust does insurmountable damage. As a tear kisses her cheek, her spirit whispers.
The boogeyman got me.
While he freely violates her underdeveloped body, she wants to be loved, but she's become someone's prey. She tries to get away, but her shame follows her every day. Her predator should be a patient at the Red Cross, castrated and defiled before we cut his head off. But he lives, and she grows to never trust men. So when one comes with good intentions, he still reminds her of him. Families are destroyed before they are even conceived, and her broken heart aches. Cause she hasn't been taught how to grieve, how to heal. So her quick tongue has become a weapon to kill because she sees men as different forms of a molester. So she becomes a problem to the one who's made a vow to protect her. She wants to be loved, but she don't see that as common. And we as a community won't get to the root of the problem, so she's engulfed in her career to escape the memory. But together we should be the ones to hunt down the enemy and put a stake in his heart so he can't do it again. But then practice real love so she can get the right perception of men with sound solutions that can make her whole and heal the wounds that can mend her broken soul. She wants to be loved. But tears won't fall though my back's against the wall. It was Reagan and Noriega who was the ones that made the call. Through government scheming, I stretched raw like a Trojan, but the condom broke behind the First Lady's empty slogan. Survival is a necessity, so cocaine is the hustle I handle, provided by United States under the Iran-Contra scandal. Grinding on the corner, my enemy wears a badge. Want me to face the black robe who's an undercover. He wants to poke me, send me to the pokey. 15 years of modern slavery, but the setup is low-key. Getting my people to turn, cheating at the Captain Mouse, popping the young brother's cherry so that I could say ouch.
Y'all wish that we could just skip the half of the ever after, sit in front of a fireplace and share uncontrolled laughter, allow our pistols to collect dust and for our tears to dissolve before they fall. We all wish peace to the homecomers. On the other end of that phone speaks a trembling voice, and in the dark beats your loyal heart already making a choice. Regardless of right or wrong, is their side we take no escape. My first deep breath taken in the arms of mother, my first last breath taken on a mission with the so-called brother. Suicidal, looking for revival, but fate already claimed my flesh. I love mother for life, and I love the homies for death. Imagine my casket closed and one dock and fit of clothes, going after foes with intentions to tag toes, only to be a mention above the fold. Who's going to hold the torch I chose, live by the concrete roads, doing light nose who call women hoes and bathe in light woes. No one I suppose, you ain't got a bust for me, no. From blackface to a ski mask, our images still shatter. Mind over matter, but what lies in our mind doesn't really matter. Adrenaline and the penalty, and I just wanted to be a soldier. The summer was just a competition to see whose heart was colder. But in reality, we all lose. A man should have nothing to prove. They provided the instrument and I gave them the tools. We try so hard to fit in, and the first we ever get is fit in a description, either a suspect or a victim. Now, you ain't really with that beefing and banging, late night calls and funeral arrangements, with an bar for what you claim, a little dude don't get killed for hanging.
It's like
Scene 53, take one.
Bitch, why you didn't have them niggas come to the house? This shit would have been way easier.
Nah. JT want us to get them niggas to trust us. You know they homeboy just got killed.
What?
Mm-hmm. They just getting back in town from Houston from his funeral.
Word?
Yeah. JT want us to get them niggas real comfortable.
Why JT want to kill them niggas anyway?
Shh. My bad. There they go. You think JT see him?
We see them niggas.
We got this.
For sure.
How cute. Action.
Hey, boss. We just passed the California state line. Do you think you need to stop and maybe get a room for the night? That horn. All right.
I love to.
I thought you never asked. Get that sausage out.
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Scene 69, take 8.
Action.
Who the fuck is it?
Bad dog, I didn't think you could hear me.
You know what, Holmes? Some of the shit you pull could get your stupid ass killed if you weren't my cousin.
Don't trip, that's it. Check this out. I got something for you.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Remember that 33 from the dope and the dead Mayate?
Man, you shut the fuck up, Holmes. You need to learn how to fucking keep your mouth quiet, dog. If it wasn't for my tia Sarah and my little fucking cousin Martha, yo, you know what? You just never know who the fuck's listening, Holmes. You do what I told you so?
Yeah, dog, all large bills.
Cousin or not, that shit short, you ain't getting shit.
Man, trust me, dog, it's all there.
And I trust you as far as I can throw your ass.
Hey, man, were you able to get the rest of that cash?
What the fuck makes you think that just because you did a favor for me, you can come into my place of business and ask me questions?
Man, I didn't mean no disrespect.
Charlie, take your shit to the back and have Julia count that shit. You better not have me no disrespect, Holmes. I don't gotta talk to you about these things.
Man, is it alright if I sit down while you
It's
get
not
the...
alright, Holmes. You ain't gonna be here that long anyways, dog. What's the point in you sitting down?
Why you gonna be so
Because
cold
the world is cold, motherfucker.
I ain't scared of your punk ass.
We're gonna get all of you guys.
Okay.
We're gonna move to this point and get all of you guys for the 3.
Okay.
So, okay?
Okay. I was Joan of Arc in my past life.
Alright, stand by with this closer.
Well, I tell you this, boy, I can go out to Cali, I shut it down. That's right. Enough of these coats, I'm gonna become a Raider fan.
Raiders fan?
That's what I said.
man.
That's what I said, man. Beautiful city, California. Man, you should let me go out there with you, baby. What's happening? Well, Raiders fan. Hell, I remember watching most shocking videos from the Raiders fans stabbing Chargers. I ain't asked for all that. What? I ain't asked for all that. I saw them all 2 eyes. All I saw was shame. I've been out here. I've been a Colts fan too long. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Next thing you know, you gonna end up being a Raider fan, Hurricane fan. Isn't that all you can wow? Shame.
Okay, check this out. I'm Proverbs, the director. And first of all, I want to know, if you ever have a situation at times where you can't find your woman and you want to know where she is and you keep calling and you wonder where she is, and then you just walk in and you just be like, hey, there she is. Doing what she knows she ain't supposed to be doing. Now, I done told Chili a bunch of times that she's been out here fucking around. But she didn't want to listen to me. I'ma call him. He in Houston. We are in Houston right now. And I will call him. He do have horses that he done bought from me. Best believe. So, without further ado, I'm getting ready to go ahead and talk to these people. And we will get back to you as soon as possible. These great actors and actresses, so we all up.
I did this to you.
Okay, you know the reason
Quiet on the set.
Scene 22, take 6.
Action.
Cal, we ain't been together in years. You was my baby daddy.
Hey, nigga, you better calm down, nigga, before you get your punk ass laid out, nigga. You need to watch yourself.
Wait a minute. All y'all niggas is drunk. Y'all tripping. Y'all need to knock this shit off. Y'all need to knock this shit off. Knock your man down. Cal.
Now. Now. Back! Y'all niggas all would have been dead. Y'all niggas all dead.
Alright, so back.
All y'all, back.
What shall there be when that final moment comes? When the curtains are drawn, the windows are shut, the door is closed, and you've written what you've written, you've said it, that's it! What will there be? What about it, mister, when you've had your last beer? You've laughed at your family and laughed at your little wife. She baked you the